Today I haven't felt this way before making a video. I am nervous, I'm anxious, and I'm excited because I have no idea what is in this box. Hello everyone and welcome to Paper and Moose. It is mail day and our good friend Mr. Steve from Durham, North Carolina has sent a box. Let me see if you can see it here, right there. Almost 50 pounds, a 50-pound box. What's inside? I'm nervous. I'm nervous. So yes, when I went to pick this box up, I went to the window of the post office, and they're like, well, hope you brought some help today. We can give you a cart, but yeah, you have a pretty big box awaiting you. I'm like, what? So yes, it's like 48 pounds and so many ounces. They had to bring the cart out. I had to wheel it out. Yeah. In case you are new, Mr. Steve from Durham, North Carolina has sent some amazing things. Like, I can't even begin to tell you, between Yellowstone, World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, World War I, dentistry stuff, just amazing historical items. And he has found it in his heart to bestow them upon me. What is in here? I don't know. I already see a box that's marked bag 8. I don't know if I'm going to cry. If I'm going, well, I already feel like I don't deserve these wonderful things that you all send to me. I feel like I need to always do these items justice, and it's on my list and it's working in the background that I am, but it's always, see, I'm speechless already and I haven't even opened anything. So let's get to it. Of course, he has sent a card. So let's get to that. And usually when Steve sends a card, it is featuring a historic place in his town, city, whatever you may call it. So let's see what he says. And see, I was right. Look at this. Lucky, oh wow. It's a lucky strike. This again, it's Pamela Strand Photography. If you want to check her out, her website is Madras, M-A-D-R-A-S, Madras Planet at smugmug.com. So you can go and check that out. That is a great picture. I love the sepia tones. I hope this lighting is okay. I needed some more room, so I came to my other corner to do it. So let's see what Steve has said. I figured you want to see a better shot of the American tobacco campus. It's been converted into mixed commercial, of course, residential and retail use, and along with the Durham Bulls AAA baseball field, it is the center of downtown Durham's revitalization over the last 10 to 15 years. There's a stage under the Lucky Strike water tower, which is also lit up every year for Christmas. I was in Durham once for my previous job. We went to were we buying out a company? And I think we went to their site. I think that was it. We went to their site to see what files had to be packed up and shipped out. So that's what I did. I didn't really see much of Durham at all. About this box, oh no. It has 3 pieces of a contraption. Oh boy. The small piece in the plastic bag doesn't fit anywhere. It just came with. The other 2 pieces fit together with 3 small bolts, which are in place. I'm gonna have to do some assembling. I've labeled each bolt A, B, and C. So you just unscrew each, match them up to the holes labeled A, B, and C, and screw it back together. You might need a crescent wrench to tighten them fully. I'll have to ask Taco Stacks for that because I'm pretty sure I don't have one. Then squirt a little WD-40, I do have that, on the moving joints and you'll be ready to go. I cleaned it up and treated it with a rust removed so it's ready to paint if you want, or it's kind of nice as is. I can't even fathom what this might be. Like, I have no idea. We know he likes to send dentistry stuff, so maybe it's something that has to do with that. That'd be my only guess here, because otherwise, I have no clue. No clue at all. All right, so we labeled open this box second. So that was the bag 8. We have 8 bags in here. This is all this filler, which I can use for my packing for flea market. Oh shoot. So there's different things. I read the thing second. All right. All right, I guess there's 2 things in here then. Let's see what he says for this one. I'm not following directions well. Already. Oh my gosh. We know it's just on, ooh. So this is lunch downstairs, home of the 15-cent lunch. Again, Pamela Strand Photography. She has a great eye. We have hamburgers, 15 cents. Wow. All right. Now that I messed up already. Renee. Lunch downstairs, home of the 15-cent lunch. Serve the workers, of the American Tobacco Company. Now it makes sense. In Durham before the huge factory closed in 1987. I can't find much on the diner itself. Ooh, tons have been written about Durham's tobacco history and the American tobacco plant. So just briefly, before I get to that, this almost reminds me of the Dixie Cup plant in Easton. The Dixie Cup plant, I found some great historical pieces from that company, found it in the trash. And I think there was just another article recently published about it actually almost finally being sold, purchased, whatever, to be reused. The problem is the cleanup on that site is ridiculous. It's going to cost so much money because of all the asbestos, lead, etc. But a lot of people are like, oh, you know, just take that cup down and throw it out. And the Dixie cup is iconic. It is iconic. So I hope whomever purchases the site keeps that cup up there or removes it and then puts it somewhere else in town so that we don't lose it. Anyway, here we go. So the American tobacco plant, the largest surrender of Confederate troops at the end of the Civil War occurred at the farm of James and Nancy Bennett. I have heard of that before. Now in the city of Durham, about a week after Lee surrendered to Grant at Appomattox Courthouse. Union General Sherman met Confederate General Johnston at the Bennett place, and after 2 days of negotiations, the war ended for some 90,000 troops amassed there. Can you imagine, like, that house, the farm, the house, like the talks that went on? The story goes that the two armies celebrated together with many amenities, including bright leaf tobacco, which they enjoyed immensely. Bright leaf is a mild tobacco which had been developed in North Carolina and Virginia about 2 decades prior. Now, Steve is giving us all this history behind the paper, so he has done his full historical research for us already. Thank you, Steve. One of its main transportation hubs was in Danville, Virginia. Danville later became a rail hub for Confederate soldiers traveling north. So the truth is that many soldiers of the North and South had been introduced to bright leaf prior to the Bennett place. After the war, the demand for bright leaf was huge, and Durham was at the center. The William T. Blackwell Company, which made the famous Bull Durham brand, was the main producer at that time. W. Duke, Sons and Company, a Blackwell competitor, soon fell under the direction of James Duke, who was not content as an also ran. By 1890, he had bought out the 5 leading tobacco brands in the U.S., Blackwell, including Blackwell, R.J. Reynolds, and Penn. Man, I'm getting an education on this tobacco. And about 200 smaller brands. In 1904, he organized everything under the American Tobacco Company. By 1906, he owned 80% of the U.S. tobacco market other than cigars. Wow, can you imagine that? However, in 1911, the federal government broke up the American tobacco monopoly. American Tobacco released R.J. Reynolds and spun out 2 new companies, Liggett and Myers and L.P. Lorillard. Now, if I were to have done all this research, this would probably take me about a week because I would have just gone off on some huge tangent and rabbit holes about all these other things that I found. The Dukes continued to operate a somewhat diminished American Tobacco with its main plant in Durham. James Duke retired and went on to found Duke University. Well, I didn't know that. Now I do. Profits continued to roll in though, especially after the company developed the Lucky Strike cigarette brand, which we all know. By the 1930s, American Tobacco employed 3,500 people in Durham. By the 1950s, American Tobacco Durham's plant had grown to 17 buildings. Then, jumping ahead a little, the Durham factory ceased operations in 1987, in large part due to the proven health effects of tobacco, diminished demand, and associated happenings. Now you think that people do vaping now. I don't know. I told you all this to say that many of the people who worked at American Tobacco ate at the lunch downstairs eatery. I got this information from all over the internet. Oh man, I'm gonna have to do research. As to the contents of the box. See, look, again, look what can just be taken from a photograph. Now, I'll have to see if the one site that I subscribe to has anything about this, because that would be interesting. And then can you imagine like the stories that were told in this little luncheonette place? I like to live above it. That'd be really cool. Anyway. Yellowstone albums and some other national parks. I'm afraid some of these albums aren't as focused as others I found, but they have some good shots in them. Oh, and one military thing. And the contraption. We have all these bags and a contraption. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I should read ahead. Bag 1. This is a sort of ratty album that's all over the place, but there are good shots of Mount Rushmore, which I would love to go see. But yet the people that have seen Mount Rushmore, they're like, don't bother. And I'm like, I just don't get it. Why wouldn't, I don't know. I have no idea. But then again, I had an aunt, I guess we call it a great aunt, that considered the Grand Canyon the hole in the ground. So, the album starts in the late 30s. Oh, a few pictures of the 1939 New York World's Fair. Maybe continuing to early 40s. Okay, let's see. It looks like I'm gonna have to pause this so I can wrestle this box out of here, and then we'll take a look at the album. Now that I fixed the lighting, sometimes you think, oh, having the blinds open will be better, and then it doesn't. But I'm not going to go and record all that over again. So apologies. So I have bag 1. Let's see. How many of these albums that are out there hold just amazing histories and personal glimpses into places, people, and things? All right, so again, starts in the late 30s and maybe continuing to the early 40s. Now it looks like they've labeled some. Some have been taken out. Diane goes to normal school in 1936. Okay, so here, wilderness counselors. You have a harbor, colonial days. From General Motors. Oh, so this is the World's Fair. Delicious food, right? That has to be. A general view, yep. Wayside Inn. And then so here, you have good old George Washington. That's Mount Rushmore. I don't know. I still think we need to go. I think about how many people have stood in the spot that you're standing in when you're at these places. Same with Yellowstone. Oh, that looks like going into Yellowstone right here. Oh my gosh, again. Look how close she is to one of the thermal features. Like, she's like practically touching it. And a bear. How close they are to a bear. Whoops. Unbelievable. There's another great snapshot of Mount Rushmore in there. And then of course we have Old Faithful, which is at the bottom. Just some more great views of the park. Wow. So I'm gonna have to take another look in this and see what all we have. Take a good view of a good look at the Mount Rushmore photos too. And just, again, that hasn't changed, really. The people that have come and gone from the site obviously have changed, but it kind of stays the same. I think that's why I like Yellowstone so much, but Yellowstone is constantly changing, and so are the people that go there. So bag number 2, nice labeled album of a trip through the Black Hills, the Badlands, which I so want to go to. Yellowstone, Montana, and Utah. One shot labeled moose, in which I cannot find a moose. Maybe it's like one of those Where's Waldo pictures where you gotta try and find it. So let's open bag number 2. So this album has, it looks like a little Dutch boy and girl on the front. Not an album cover that I see a lot. The Badlands. Miles of this in South Dakota. Looks just like flat. The Badlands of South Dakota. Badlands. What that looks like it got cut. The Black Hills. And again, you know, you think they're taking these pictures, they have no idea what they're gonna turn out to look like. Ooh, Cascades of the Firehole. Firehole is one of the most popular areas in Yellowstone. And we have the Upper Falls, the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone. Oh, we gotta show you this bear. Oh, and there again, Midway Geyser Basin. We're just standing right there. Oh gosh. And then we have bears. They have a whole page dedicated to bears. That one is like posing for the picture. He's just sitting there, rather close. Oh my goodness. A moose. Okay, here it is. A moose. I have to get out a magnifying glass to try and find that. Oh, I see it. It's like, you won't be able to see it, but there's a black dot in the middle of the photo. That's a moose. I'd be happy if I saw that. Hey, any black dot that could be a moose is better than seeing no moose at all. All right, bag 3. Nice album from Sequoia National Park. Not sure if that's the only place they visited. I can visit all these parks from the convenience and the leisure of my home. But it is nice to actually go there in person. A different shaped album. Oh, how nice. This is from Alice, 1931. Look how cute that album is. Oh, wow. There's Alice. Her last name is on the cover, so I might have to do a little research. Oh, there's a deer. Oh, she's very close to that. That's a deer there. I'd like to do that. Somebody's dream, it said, oof, ain't you scared? When I was little, there was an ice cream stand that actually had deer in a fenced area, and you could feed them. Obviously now that would have so many no's attached to it, but back then it was so much fun to do, because when else are you going to be able to like touch a deer and not be almost like threatened by it? So that was always fun to do. There we have another deer. I might have to do a little slideshow of this because these are really great. And some of their captions are really funny too. They had a great sense of humor with these. Aw. It says, Tip Top Amoro Rock. Amoro Rock. Tip Top Amoro Rock. Probably won't be able to see it. Love their outfits. Again, traveling back then, it's like you picked your fanciest clothes. Auto log, wonderful, but ought to see the other side. Not sure. Again, I'll have to, oh, there's more bears. A bear hill. You should have heard them growl. Well, how close did you get to these creatures? I mean, I don't think they had a camera with like a crazy zoom lens on it. So I'll have to put this aside, add it to my list. Hopefully I'll be able to find some information about this person. If they're married, the last name could have changed, but that's not too much of a problem when it comes to looking at older records. But I really adore how cute this album is, the captions, and then just their pictures too, and the snapshots, and then their little captions that they wrote on there. That's it. Great for bag number 3. Bag number 4, mostly a family album from maybe 1910 to 1930. A few World War I photos and a trip to Yosemite included. Shot of a woman leaning on a sign by a cliff, warning people away, right above a photo of a guy way out on high precipice. The sign says, "It is 3,000 feet to the bottom and no undertaker to meet you. Take no chances. There is a difference between bravery and just plain ordinary foolishness." Oh, and look how pretty this album is too. You have it says Kodaks and then Yosemite National Park on the back. I can't wait to find that picture. I guess, oh wow, they're just as daring back then as they are now. Now they just put it on social media, and then you have the rangers find it, and then you get fined, which does happen, believe it or not. Especially, there's been some instances where I've seen in Yellowstone where people have touched, you know, there are thermal features that pop up on the side of the roads. You know, you can see the little few, like the plumes of smoke coming out. And so there are people that will go and they will touch it. And they film themselves touching it. Then they put it on their Instagram, on their TikToks, etc. They tag, like they'll put Yellowstone. They tag it. And then they're found out and they usually are fined. And some of them are actually even banned. But oh my gosh, I love these photos. So this is again another delicate album. Oh wow. That's been saved for all these years. Yeah, like I don't think you're gonna be able to see, and I don't wanna try and destroy it. But yeah, look, he's like on top of a ridge. I mean, this is nuts. These rocks just hanging everywhere, and they're just hanging out. Oh my goodness. And it looks like we have some Native Americans, a tribe, and then this guy just dressed up as one. Oh wow. Then you think, like, I think of the random things, the process of them. They had to get these photos developed, and then they cut them out and glued them into this album. How long did that take? I love their clothing. Oh, no, that's not the World War. You have, you know, the bathing suits of that time. All the great clothing. There's another wagon with a sign on the back. I'll have to get out my magnifying glass and take a better look. Oh my gosh, these are wonderful. I still need to get that outfit and go to Yellowstone in a vintage outfit like that. Like, this is the kind of outfit that I would love to go to in. Like, look at her. She has like the socks, the pants. You won't be able to see it. That great hat. The sweater. That's what I want to travel to Yellowstone in. And walk around like that. And pretend I'm back in like the 1920s and 30s. These are wonderful. Oh, a little post office. You're not gonna be able to see it. I don't know why I'm trying. I'm trying. So it looks like they stayed at some type of camp too. We'll have to do some looking. Oh, here's a World War I. Prisoners of war cleaning refuge. What? Darn it. They cut off It looks like something in Medina. So maybe that was the man's last name. And prisoners of war cleaning refuge. It's this one right here. Wow. This album is filled with such wonderful, wonderful pictures. Ooh. Oh my gosh. This is the first. It's like a photo booth snapshot, but they're holding us. The sign says, "Why Mother Gets Gray." And it's the poor young girl. Why Mother Gets Gray. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine the photographer? You can hold this sign. Bag 5. Photos in a Grand Teton album. I have them there. Some of these are souvenir photos purchased, but many snapshots. 1950s. They start in the Roosevelt National Forest, the many photos in the Teton National Park. Photos are labeled on the back, at least the ones I looked at. Eventually to Yellowstone, and a good picture of a bear standing up and taking something from someone's hand. As much as I would love to do that, I'm not getting eaten by a bear when I'm out there. Nope. The leather exterior. I don't want to... Oh, wow. The bison. I love the bison. I would love to touch a bison. I think there's some bison farm over in the Lehigh Valley area, and you can go and like pet them. I need to do that. I need to do that. Yep, leaving Roosevelt National Forest. Oh wow. Now it's funny how their clothes have kind of changed a bit. We'll have to see if I can show you. So you have them driving through. Oh. The back cover just came off. That's okay. Let's see what I can show you. Driving through, what has changed? The cars. That's probably the one thing that's changed the most. Oh, it's like a little squirrel. They got awfully close to that squirrel. This looks like there's some snow on the ground. So I wonder when they ventured there. At least it looks like snow to me. I could be completely wrong. But in May, that area does still have snow. And up in the Tetons, actually, there's snow all the time. Oh my gosh, here it is. Look how close. Like the hand is right up there and there's a little bear. That looks like a little cub. Oh, he's so cute. Yep, and then we have... That's definitely Yellowstone. That might be the Grand Canyon over there. Wow. And if that was a cub, the mom had to be somewhere around there, man. I love it. No fear back then. No fear. Feed the bears. Let's just feed them all. Let's see. Bonus bag number 6. Bonus. I think all of these are bonuses, Steve. Group shot. Oh wow. Of the 3rd platoon. Group shot of the 3rd platoon. 73rd Quartermaster Corps, Camp Lee, Virginia. No date, guessing late 50s or early 60s. This goes back to my history behind the paper on George a few months ago. He was part of the 73rd QM Corps. You are right. I've been looking but can find almost nothing on them. I know, it's insane. This photo is not from his era, but it's all that I found. Isn't that crazy? Like, isn't that how they just kind of... some of those corps just kind of not disappear, but there's just not a lot out there on them. So let's see what we have. And that's one of the things I've been trying Buzz, some of the postcards that he sent me from World War II. You know, I try and find information about the soldier, and there's 2 problems. One, their name is so common, like John Brown. How many John Browns are out there? Or 2, I cannot read the last name, or I can't figure out the spelling. And then if you just put in what you think the spelling might be, there still are a number of people that have that weird spelling of their name, but you have no idea if it's them or not. And then some people, there isn't any information, nothing. And that's very sad, I think. All right, let's see. Oh, wow. Now we have all their names. Well, not their first names. We have their first and middle initial, which, you know, a little sleuthing, you can figure it out. Well, I'd say that, and then you type that in and there's like 30 different ones. There they are. Yeah, you have a Smith, a Sane, a Sunshine, ooh, Taylor, Tucker, Williams, Wilson, Bomblinski. That might be one to look up. I'm sure there's probably about 20 of them. But look at all these men. Yeah, that might be a mystery. Maybe it's a mystery we can solve. We'll have to see. All right. Bag 7, surprise, dental. It's wrapped like a brick. A box. I don't know. What could it be? It is a box. Universal Interior Mold Guide, Color Guide System. We have some teeth falling out. Sometimes, like, as a joke, I want to bring this to my dentist the next time I go and be like, okay, so which one? We had some of them fell off, but that's okay. Wow. It's crazy. Like, they wouldn't do this today. I wonder what dentists back then would think of the technology that we have today. And again, I don't know why I'm so intrigued by the dental industry. I think some of their techniques just still seem so archaic. And then others, it's like, yeah, we've advanced so far. It's like a conundrum to me. I guess maybe you could say that. Bag 8, surprise. Most assuredly dental for your retro dental practice. No, people would not go to that. They might go to like experience what it may have been like sitting in the old dentist chair, but for like getting teeth removed and the needles, they are not going to a retro dentist. I don't think that would work. Now that is in the big box, so I'm gonna open that up. But first, Steve says, keep, sell, trade, barter, repurpose. Please do whatever you like with these. I have one more box, much smaller and lighter at the time of writing. I continue to enjoy the channel and how it's growing. The histories and stories are my favorite part. I wish they were more lucrative for you, but it's all great. Continued success, and thanks for accepting these crazy mail day boxes. Well, thank you, Steve. We'll open up bag number 8, but first I want to say, yes, you know, the history and the stories are my favorite part. And I know that there are channels out there that they do really well on similar types of videos, except they have a bit more, I want to say maybe pizzazz to their editing. They have more different kind of videos in the video. You know, they use, what else do they use? I think it's just a little bit different. And so I was trying to figure out, do I need a special type of editor to do that? Do I need to buy another program that allows for the free use of certain, say, cartoons or illustrations or videos? So I have to work on that. But those videos, you know, they can get 100,000 views in a month. And if I could have that on a history behind the paper video, that would be amazing. I think more so because also I feel that those videos, or the people in the videos, deserve to be seen again, to be thought about, to be heard about, because their stories are You know, I find a piece of paper with their name on it, I do research, see what I could find, and then I put it out there. So I think that their stories need to be heard. So yeah, I think it's kind of just keep working at it, you know, keep taking the time that I am and doing the research. Some research pans out, some research I just hit a dead end way too early, and there's really nothing I can do about it. So it all just depends, but I keep nose to the grindstone, as they say, and I know eventually one of those will just hit, and hopefully a lot of people will be able to learn about someone or something that needs to be remembered once more. So yes, let's get to this bag 8, this contraption. I'm scared. All right, this thing is heavy. I don't know. I don't know. I think I know what this is. I think I know what it is. Do you see that wheel? Oh my gosh. Steve has it all nice and tied up here so it won't move. Let's open the second part. So this is the pedal portion. This, the big wheel, clamps into this, and yes, Steve marked it. We have C, A, and B. And then, yeah, you would just move it with your foot, I believe, to have the wheel spin and have that drill work. Oh my gosh. So, if YouTube fails, I have a backup. I can start taking reservations now. No, I won't say that because YouTube's not going to fail, but I have a side gig. Who wants to be my first patient? Or I always thought, you know, bring this to my dentist and be like, do I get a discount? I would not want this used on my teeth. I would not want that needle. Oh, the pain I can feel so far. But yeah, so you see just by this how far we have come in the dental world. Because how many of you, if you walked into your dentist office and you saw this today, them holding that drill, you'd be like, oh yeah. I think I kept calling it a needle, I meant a drill. You'd be like, oh sure, doctor, numb me up and let's get going. No. Oh wow, yes, oh my gosh, so I have that cabinet that I got at a yard sale maybe 2 years ago, that great mint color. I have my chair, my little soffette, couchette that I got from the pick, I guess you could say, the green one. I have that, and that came from a dentist's office. I have this, I have the teeth. Dr. Pam. I was trying to think of a good jingle, like, you have bad teeth, we can fix it. That's not good. It's I'll look at the old newspaper ads. They know what they were talking about. Well, Steve, I don't even know what to say, because this has just been a whole conglomeration. We have Yellowstone, we have old photo albums, we have military, and then we have teeth. The dentist. Where do you find these things? I never know. But I thank you so much for thinking of me when it comes to these items. And I will enjoy going through the albums, taking pictures of the pictures to use in a future little history behind the paper, do some research, and to see what can be brought to light. So, round of applause for Steve. Maybe Steve wants to be the first patient at the Dr. Pam Dental Institute. Oh my gosh, were we... The old way is the best way. Oh my gosh, there we go. Perfect. We do dentistry in the 1920s or earlier. Oh my gosh, that's like a house of horrors. We'll get that laughing gas. We'll be good to go. That's amazing. So amazing. But thank you so much, Steve. I can't thank you enough. You always leave me speechless with everything that you have said to me. And I just hope that I can do these items justice in the future and bring them the recognition that they deserve. So thank you so much. I have a lot to put away, a lot of bubble wrap to save, and I have to learn dentistry now. Thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed this mail day. I know I did. Mail brought to you by Steve. So thanks again. What can I say? Mail day, you never know what you're going to find on mail day here at Paper Moose. You just never know. And Steve proves that. He keeps us on our tippy toes. Thanks again. Hope you all have a wonderful day. And if you are out and about looking for your treasure, I hope you find it. Or if you're trying to find a good dentist, I hope you find that too. Thanks again.